Alright, so just to be transparent, welcome back to the channel. As much as I would love to tell you guys how neat and tidy my workspace and studio space is, I'd be lying. I've got a 2D painting coming up. Someone purchased a bluegill painting from me last year, and they came back and asked if I could do a crappie painting for them. So this is going to be a crappie painting to match the bluegill painting they bought. I'm going to get the GNU out of the way because I have to build a panel. So let's move that. And the other thing I need to do is get a little cleaning done out here. So I think I've got enough to build 2 panels here. I've got a 3D painting to do and a 2D painting to do. This video will only be the 2D painting. It'll be the crappie. It's going to be 24 inches by 24 inches. I'm going to go ahead and get my bench cleaned off nicely. I'll do a little time lapse of that. And then we'll get these panels built, and I'll start showing you guys the process of my 2D crappie painting. So as much as I wish cleaning up my workspace was as fast as that time lapse, we all know the truth. That was probably about 20 minutes. Had to get some stuff. Now, with that being said, my studio space wasn't clean, but it is fairly organized. So I have spots for everything. I have an electrical drawer, I have all my fasteners, I have all my screw drawers, I have everything. Everything has a place. Now, whether I put it back there when I'm done with it is another story. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this panel down. I've got a 24 by 24 to do, and I've also got a 24 by 48 to do. Don't know if I can get that out of this piece, both of them, but we'll see. If you've watched my channel before and you know my videos, I like to build cradled wood panels to paint on. It's similar to a canvas, but instead of strapping a canvas around a frame, I build a frame and then put a wood face on the front of it. I like to paint on that. It's a stronger surface. I feel like it's something that's going to last longer and give a little more stability. So let's go ahead and cradle it in. What I'm going to do is take some of these 1x2s. I'm going to cut them down to what I need. A lot of times measuring isn't really needed. I like to just put the panel right on here and just draw the line where I need it. And that should give me exactly what I need as long as I cut the line correctly. I've got my pieces cut. I've got my panel cut. The next thing I'm going to do is slide these under here, and I'll put them all around all 4 corners. If I was going to build a bigger panel, I would put stringers through the center to make sure the entire panel sat flat over a bigger surface. But since this one is small, we're just going to use it the way it is. We're going to go around the outside. It's going to straighten itself out on its own, and we'll have a nice panel to paint on. All right, our 24 inch by 24 inch panel is completely built. As you can see, it's cradled on the back, easy to hang on the wall. Next thing I'm gonna do is come around, fill some of these little nail holes after the glue dries. I'll gesso this panel completely, and then we'll get started with our artwork. We built a 24 inch by 24 inch panel. This one's a 24 by 48. What I am going to do with this one is, like I spoke about in the last one, is add a little stringer in the center for stability. So I'll have 2 on the ends, 2 on the top and bottom, and then I'll have 1 in the center. If the panel was bigger, I might do corner straps and stuff like that. But since this one's still kind of fairly medium sized, I'm just going to have 1 stringer down the center. We'll add that in. We'll get this panel built. All right, my 24 inch by 48 inch panel is built. As you guys can see, I put some stringers in the back of it just to help it kind of keep flat and stay stable. Next thing I'm going to do is fill all these holes, gesso the panel, get it ready for paint. This one's going to be a 3D painting, so we'll see some ibis in it, but we'll also see some redfish, maybe a raccoon, and a pretty nice marsh scene. I think I'm going to do some palm trees and some spartina grass, you know, something that kind of hits home. It's for a local client, so I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. I'll keep you guys updated on the process of this one, but the video that we're in currently is the 2D crappie one, so we'll continue with that. Alright, so I'm going to get really close and kind of show you guys this little texture I'm talking about. I really like this texture when I paint. My brushwork is used to it, I'm used to working with it, and I really like that little tiny bit of texture that's on there, that little bit of tooth that goes with the paint. So usually for bass, I come out here and throw top water, but we've got a lot of cover, a lot of grass and stuff like that. So I like to tie up this little bait fish here. It's a little craft bar bait fish, but you can see I got like a double weed guard tied on it. It's probably one of my favorite little things to throw back here other than top water. This will do it when they're not responding to top water, but see if we can stick a bass. All the seaweed off. Whoa! Get the hook out. So I wanted to step in here really quick, kind of step away from the time lapse. I get asked a lot, why on my 2D pieces do I do this like kind of burnt orange background. A lot of artists do this. It's called toning your canvas. It's basically, instead of painting on a completely flat white surface, A, it's kind of intimidating, but B, you don't get a really good judgment of values or light when you are painting on something that's completely white. So let's say I started with a bright white canvas, and I just started painting this fish. All of my colors in here would naturally be a lot brighter than they are. So when I do this, I really enjoy doing the burnt umber background, getting my fish painted the way I want it, and then I come back and I fill in this background. There's two things I like about filling in the background with white. One is I like to kind of leave the brush strokes. I don't completely cover it. I don't do 2 or 3 coats of this and completely cover the background and make it a solid white surface. I like to leave these brush strokes. That's just part of what I like. But the other thing is, once I'm done with this white background, then I can judge my next palette of colors to finish out the detail on this, and I can know how bright and white I really want to bring this fish out. And then I can bring my highlights out, and I can bring my brighter colors a little brighter without kind of overstepping. So naturally, I don't start too bright. I finish at the brightness I want once I get this white background on, and then I can kind of judge how far to come out with my highlights and how comfortable I am with that. So a little bit of an explanation. I'm going to fill this background in, and then we'll finish off the fish after that. Alright, so I hope you guys can see the difference now from when the panel was orange on the back and the fish looked bright and alive, and now that I've done the white, it's kind of toned him down and sent him back in a little bit. Now I'm able to set up my palette for doing my highlights. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in like a reddish brown color, and I'm going to start introducing that in different spots to give it some depth and give it some strength. So alright, so just getting this painting framed in and finished. I'm really happy how it's turned out. As the time this video is released, I will currently be recording my next one. I've got a cool little trip down to Miami to deliver the 3D NLBN piece, and to also paint live at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. So get ready, all that action's going to be in the next video, also with a little bit of fishing. So if you like what you saw today, please click like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys next time.